If you follow my content over the last day or two, you probably have seen that I've released details on our upcoming Mitigation Mastermind groups that we are going to be launching for probably mid to late February. Masterminds are one of my favorite things to be in, to be take part of as a member and as a facilitator. Really, really, really can point back to my career and look at large leaps of success and personal growth when I was involved in a mastermind. They really, really are. They're not super popular anymore, and especially for our industry, a lot of people like to make the excuse that we don't have time. But every other week for 90 minutes, if you can't block out time, you have a lot of big problems, and it probably really, really leads to why getting traction and getting control of your business is difficult. So I want to urge you to check out our Mitigation Mastermind. This is something for you. This would start in February. This would be a group of 12 individuals. I've got two different groups for different sizes. One is for companies from like 0 to 2 million, and then the other is for the 2 million and up. And that's just because I believe in you should be hanging out with people at a different level than you, but people that have a larger company are really not growing by intermingling and mentoring with people from a smaller, from where they used to be. Everyone should be looking at where they are and going forward. So my hopes are, if you are in the $300,000 to $800,000 range for your revenue for 2022 or going into 2023, that you can hang out with and get into a mastermind with some people who already busted through that $1 million threshold and see what it took, because it is going to take things that you're not ready for. Your marketing is going to change. Your delegation, habits will have to change. But the Mitigation Mastermind is really just going to be about industry people who understand what it is you do, no secrets, no information left under the sun that you probably don't know, but maybe there is, but really just holding each other accountable and creating a bond with a tribe. I have a pretty large tribe, but there's not many days of the week where there's not a few texts going back and forth with people with just that I was in a mastermind with. Hey, question for you. Check out what I found. I'm going to be in this area. Anybody want to get together? Blah, blah, blah. It's just fantastic. And I really, really, really look forward to it. Couple of ground rules I've been asked in the last day or two. Can someone fill in for you if you join? You're the owner, leader, manager, whatever that might be, because this is for really for anyone that's trying to grow professionally and personally in their growth, in their work ethic, knowledge, et cetera, et cetera. Can someone fill in for you if you miss one of the sessions? And we are asking you not to miss a session. The answer is kind of a no, and the reason for that is once you have joined a mastermind, there is a kind of a commitment and a connection there with others, and it opens up for people to be real honest and vulnerable, and kind of connect with everyone. Pretty much saying, this is what I'm really not good at and I want to get better at. When you start throwing strangers into that, it changes the dynamic. Anyone that might be filling in is not really doing anything other than probably taking notes for you, because they're not invested enough to make a long-term, stretch out of it to personally grow themselves. I would recommend have them join the other. If you've got a younger general manager or something like that, and maybe you were in a larger category, then maybe they are trying to grow professionally as managers, and they can really get a lot from hanging out with some other people. I'm not going to have like technicians in this group. We tried to do that last year. I would love the idea of your junior leaders, your lead techs and your project managers. We tried to do that last summer. No one signed up. And it's probably because you can't figure of when you would be able to carve out 90 minutes, 60 minutes for one of those people to spend time with this. And I really think that that's a tragedy. I think you could, And I think it would, the benefits of if you're trying to invest in someone would have been great. But back to the question is, can someone fill in for you? No. We prefer that no one else share the login information. This would be very exclusive to you. I would like to say don't miss any sessions at all. Things come up, big things come up, not like, hey, I scheduled a job to go look at. This is, if your job and your company and your systems aren't in place to where you have complete control over your schedule, other than major emergencies, I'm talking no one else in the company could even handle it. But a lot of times things that could be scheduled at 10 o'clock on Tuesday could be done at 1 o'clock on Tuesday, usually. But let your team go do it. This is a great time to force you to delegate. So if you can't work your schedule to make really, really a good commitment that you would be at all of these and maybe only miss one, I would like you to not sign up at all in the first place. I hate to say that because I'd love to have as many of you join. I'd like to have so much desire to do this that we have to create another one, because we're having 2 right now. If it rolled into a third one, that would be fine, because I know what comes from it. I know those people that partake always say, when are we getting another one together? This is that one. Private group, all of them be recorded. That's not a reason for you to miss them. Not like, hey, I don't have to attend. These things fall apart when 4 people a week are not there and it's only 8 or 6 or 3. That is not good. Usually the group will remove someone, and there are no refunds. If you sign up and you can't make it, there's no refunds. We're going to go ahead and put the money into staffing this thing. And so it will be a facilitator, myself and or Toby, and then a few different sessions. We're going to have guest facilitators, guest speakers come in with a little bit of information that might be pertaining to either what we're talking about during our series. If I'm hearing some specific areas that I think that we need a really, really dedicated professional that might be great at that, or someone that I think outside of our mastermind that really, really has that thing worked out, then I would have them come in as a guest host and run one of the meetings for us. I would get them up to speed of how we operate, and that would be really fun to have some really good notable people in there and something like that. Other than that, I hope you would join. It's 12 sessions. I think it's priced well below what I've paid for some masterminds. I generally don't price my work as high as a lot of people, because I want people to not have any reason to not do it. Because I know I know who my audience is. I know we have cash flow, we have collections issues, and here we are at the end of the year, and I understand all that. But I also know how much money is spent on frivolous things that are never, ever, ever, ever put into action. So I do want to make it priced enough to where you've got some skin in the game. Everyone will participate in something that they pay for far more than something that's very, very inexpensive. I can't tell you how many courses that I've created that people have purchased and never opened, never logged in to take the course. It's tragic, because what I believe what's inside of it is directly towards things that they always announce that they're struggling with. But as far as the mastermind, 2 different groups. Sign up now. Let's get started. You'll get a follow-up call from Toby. We'll kind of go through the logistics. The date and time, believe it or not, we're going to wait till we fill one up, and then we're going to have a session together with everybody in January to have just kind of a consensus. And I know that can be real tricky, that everybody will have a different idea, but we'll hone down on the best day and time of the week, every other week, to have this. But as of right now, if I were to say it's going to be Tuesdays at 10 Central, that might preclude a lot of people, and half of that group would prefer in the afternoon. But I want these masterminds to be something during that 12-session stint, 24-week period, that you actually look forward to. When you hang up and you disconnect that day, I want it to be something that you look back and say, man, that was I'm fired up. I'm ready to go for the next few weeks. So check it out, restorationadvisors.com/mitigation-masterminds. And information's there. You can sign up. You can apply. We'll give you a call back. We'll have a phone call with you. But those are the parameters. That answers some of the questions and kind of tells you a little bit about what there is. But I can tell you, very few people go through a mastermind and don't come out on the other side with a large leap in their vision and accountability and connection to other people, and have really smashed some goals, have taken like a big thing and solved it. And is that not worth $1,000 just to solve one big problem to where you can go on and make tens and hundreds of thousands of dollars by overcoming that? I think it's a great ROI. It's just a time commitment. That's the biggest thing. And I'm aware of that, but that's something that you have to come to terms with, because if you cannot section out the time for this, it kind of tells me what the bigger problem is in your company. And maybe in your habits. We want to break those habits. We want to make new habits. That's all this is about. Take care. Log in. Sign up today. See you.